This is my third visit since I became ambassador almost 2 years ago. My first reason is to see Martin Carpenter, who is the new Honorary British Consul, and I've had quite a good chat with him and been very impressed with the way he's doing his work. It's a very important part of our network, the Honorary Consuls that we have throughout Thailand, and Phuket is no exception to that. It's quite a busy job with a number of tourists that come to Phuket, and obviously the resident community, and everything I've seen convinces me he's doing an excellent job. My second reason was to be sort of co-host for the reception which the Royal Navy very kindly gave last night on the British naval vessel HMS Bulwark that is visiting Phuket. And it was a very fine event, attended probably by over 200 people, hosted by, I think jointly by myself and the naval captain. And we had many leading members of the British community there, plus local dignitaries, Thai Navy and so on. And it was a great piece of what we call defence diplomacy.
We went on a tour of the ship during the day. Obviously there's a lot of sailors too, it's 540 and Marines too on board. A great fill-up for also the economy here, because obviously they're spending money during their visit, but obviously a big contingent. We don't see many British Navy ships here.
No, I think it's great that they were able to make a port visit here. It's always very popular coming to Thailand, particularly with the naval ratings. But I think it's also shown as a good message of confidence in Thailand, that despite various hiccups that we've had over the last few months, that the armed forces are still strengthening those links, and I think that helps an issue which I think is at the forefront of many people's minds actually in Phuket, and I spoke to several people last night at the reception, which is the tourism drop-off. I think Phuket's been hard hit by the decrease in tourism that's affected all of Thailand, but there's been a number of factors. Obviously the world economic crisis, the political instability that there was in Bangkok, Pattaya and Suvarnabhumi Airport, and of course here even Phuket Airport was affected, and thirdly the so-called swine flu, which has, I think, made people a bit more reluctant to travel.
So, latest sort of figures for the number of British particular tourists. I mean, we got 2007 it was 859,000 to Thailand, but only 282 to Phuket, and 1,000.
I got 82,000. Yes. Well, that's not bad actually. That's about a quarter of the tourists, in fact over a quarter, would be coming to Phuket. That's about what I would estimate. Last year I think the figure was very similar. I think it would have broken 1 million last year, but for the airport crisis, which clearly, just prevented people from coming, and then had an effect for some time. We were well over 800,000. I think this year the figure will be down, no doubt about that.
But authorities inform you of the numbers on a regular basis?
Well, we get the figures at the end of the year just from the number of the people actually passing immigration. So, there's a possible double counting, I suppose, because if you go out and then come back again and then go back again. But I think generally speaking, it's a fairly accurate indicator of the number of visitors. My job is not so much to encourage tourism per se, because that's more of a benefit for the Thai economy, but what I am here to do is to try and look after British tourists, working with Martin and the other honorary consuls and our consulate team, to make sure that the people who do come here have an enjoyable and safe time. And obviously with the large numbers that we get every year, when you're getting over 800,000, you're bound to get various incidents of people losing passports, being robbed, or regrettably dying. And
it's what we hear in the news too.
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority have come here and returned safely, but our job is obviously to put out advice to avoid doing things that might jeopardize their safety. For instance, an obvious thing that I'm afraid some tourists still don't do is put on helmets when they're on a motorbike, because I think they're on holiday, they don't need to do that, you know, and they do things on jet skis and swimming when it's unsafe and things like that. So we're trying to, sort of prevention is one level. The second level is obviously protection. If they do fall into trouble, you know, that we help them out by visiting them in prison or jail, or in the police station, giving them practical assistance. And in just a few minutes' time, I'll be going to the jail to visit the 4 British citizens who are in jail here.
You've been discussing with the governor and the police chief.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the local authorities' treatment or information and liaison with particularly through Martin, but obviously...
Well, my impression is I think we get very good cooperation at the practical level, and I think Martin has found that he's got very much an open door, and he's got a very good address book of contacts, which is essential. When I was here last year, there was quite an issue on security, and I think you remember this, on that so-called beach road, I think, and a number of incidents of people returning late at night on motorcycles and sort of gangs operating, and really very much targeted. I understand that problem is a bit better, but it's by no means gone away, and there's still incidents of people having handbags stolen and so on. So I did raise that issue, and the answer I got is certainly that the safety of tourists is a top priority. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a phenomenon that when you have problems, as Thailand has had, it depresses the number of tourists, which therefore depresses the economy, which can then for increased crime, because people are out of work and so on, and the criminals will then target tourists, so you can get a sort of vicious circle sort of starting to... And residents, of course, so that both those are my prime concern. But without sounding complacent, I think there is a better recognition of the need to make this a top priority. Still there are regrettably incidents, and I mean, through Martin, if there are any viewers who would like to, who are British visitors or citizens who like to bring issues to my attention, I'm very happy to do that and to take that up. That is a top priority.